Good morning, Karen Curitan, social media trainer here, joined, as you can see, by the lovely Becky Colwell. Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Karen. How are you?
Oh, well, apart from it being the most disgusting day here in deepest Leicestershire, I'm on the countdown, that slide to having some time off work, which I desperately need. So
Always
Becky and I are jumping on here live because there is so much commonality in what she and I do. So Becky and I met through the fabulous Athena Professional Business Women's Network. And we did. And Becky is the founder of Heart to Heart Sales and the creator of the Natural Sales Voice framework, which we're going to talk a little bit. And it's all about helping value-led business owners make sales feel calmer and more natural, which I think is so important, isn't it, Becky? Because I started off as one of those scary saleswomen in House of Fraser, working on the makeup counters. And it was. And then, fast forward to 20 odd years later, I was in charge of a sales team managing multi-million pound developments. And then I ended up teaching people to sell houses. So I have a lot of insight, but it's very different these days and very different with what you do. So tell us a little bit more about, because sales, people can think it feels a bit sleazy, that people are, especially when they phone you. How is it that we can sort of make it feel less? How do you think we can do that?
Well, there's two sides to it. It's how you apply your sales knowledge to real life, real people, so that you're not. So that they are not receiving what you say as manipulative or persuasive or anything like that. So there's that side of it. It's like how you're coming across. Not really, at that point, it's not really about your intention. It's about how you're coming across and understanding that side of it. But then there's also, for a lot of people who are in business for themselves, particularly if it's a micro business and a solo business owner, they're doing all the jobs, and sales is often the one where they just feel horrible doing it because they think sales is one moment in time. And so what I help people with is actually a lot of those around those feelings about what they're doing. So it's not just here's an idea about how you can approach your sales. It's also here's how to get over those feelings, because actually when you understand how it's received, it's no longer a horrid thing, it's a nice thing.
And I think that's true, because I actually sort of completely reframed it for myself in that we are when we have a service-based business, particularly, we're problem solvers.
Absolutely.
And when you position it that I'm trying to help that person, that I'm wanting to make their life easier, save them time, save them money, and we come more from, I think we're quite, I hate to say it, quite British. And we're very much about talking about what it is rather than what it's going to do for that person.
Yeah.
And I think as sort of as business owners, what do you think we can do to make things feel a little, just shift it a little bit to make it feel calmer? What do you think we should be doing more of that we're probably not doing right now?
Yeah, I think the reframe is really important, and sales is service is a very common phrase now, but unfortunately people still feel icky about it, even if they know that phrase. So it is genuinely about having a process in place that actually allows you to connect, allows you to feel good about the process, allows you to really get to know the person that you would like to buy in a way that allows you to go, actually, I can help you, or actually, I can't.
Yeah.
Because it's never about persuasion. It's never about manipulation. You know, no one having sales training of any description is ever going to become that way unless they decide that's the way they want to be, if you see what I mean. You know,
Yeah.
people's personalities are not going to change.
Yeah. And I think we have to accept that, don't we?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But you can still be really good at selling what you do because you understand the impact of it, and you understand how different people may want different things from it, but it's the same impact, if that makes sense. So it's tapping into getting to know them and what they want and seeing whether you can help them.
And it is. And I remember there is an incredible guy that I've known for many years. He's long retired, called Chris Haley, and he had a business called Maitland Selwyn. Maitland Selwyn's still around. He's retired. And Maitland Selwyn provide temporary staff into new house builders.
Yeah.
And when I was first on maternity leave, that's how long ago it is, because my son's 21 on Sunday, he asked me to go and help him out with some sales training. And it was really interesting because he has a very he has a very specific process. And I bet he still has people training the people, you know, there'll be adjustments.
Yeah.
But I used to love it that he used to say, you know, the customer would come into the sales center of a new house development and it would say, first question, are you doing any deals? And Chris's instant response, I can picture him now. It's just, you've given me a complete flashback, which I'm so grateful for, was take a seat.
Yeah.
He used to say, take a seat. He said, what's the point in talking to the customer about a deal if we haven't got something, as you've just said, that is a good fit for them right now?
Yes.
And I think that's the thing, is that, you know, I often come at it from a place of, I want to help you, but I need to ask you some questions so I better understand where your priorities are now. In fact, just yesterday, I hosted a free webinar, and I had a bunch of women on there who I'd never met before, because I'd brought these people in through an ad campaign.
Cool.
What was really interesting was that everybody was saying, you know, they were all completely I'm trying to they were blocked with their social media.
Yeah.
And I said, let's take social media out of it.
Yeah.
Let's understand more about your business and you and how you behave towards your customers, because you're providing a solution.
Yeah.
And when you can start and understand that, it becomes much more valuable and less icky.
Always, because you know, no one's going to be in business, or certainly the people who are attracted to you or I. Actually, they're unlikely to be in business if they're bad at what they do.
Yeah.
You know, they're good at what they do, often really, really good at what they do, and yet they're not standing in that confidence of when they provide the service. They're confident because they know they're good at it, but they need to stand in that confidence earlier in the process and actually be able to say, I'm really good at this. They may not phrase it that way, but it's got to come from that energy that actually I can help. You know, you've said this, I can really help with that. You know, or even you've said this, this, and this, I can help with this and this, which I think actually might resolve this, but it's not my core thing. But you know, you can have those conversations with quiet confidence and assuredness that allows the other person to go, oh yes, they're confident that they can help me.
Yeah. And I love that quiet confidence, because when it's our thing, we're really comfortable about it.
Yeah.
When we're talking to somebody else about a thing, in fact, I've just this morning been writing the follow-up emails to the people who attended my free webinar. And I completely reframed them, because I realized I was selling not talking about the solution and why it would be a right fit for them.
Yes.
And I think that's sometimes we come at these things from and I see it with some of my clients, they come at it from I just want them to sign up.
Yeah.
And they come at it from a place of scarcity rather than a place of support. And, I said to one of these ladies yesterday on this call, because I was inviting a lot of interaction, and I said, what's your biggest challenge? And this lady said, well, I'm not getting any interaction on my posts. And I said, well, there's a lot of people that lurk for a start, but also, have you done some analysis? And this comes back to the wholesales thing. I said, how many of your posts are building relationships? How much of your content is giving me a real sense that you're the right fit for me? How many of your posts are positioning you as the authority at what you do?
Yeah.
And how many of your posts are selling? And she came back to it, oh my God, all my posts are selling posts. And we don't want to be sold to, do we?
No. And if we get a sense of the fact that we're being sold to as well, we tend to back off a little bit. Whereas if we get a sense of somebody's supportive and helpful, then that's where we're more likely to lean in and buy.
Yeah.
And I think,
and it is also, I think there's sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Go for it.
I think there's also an element around that support, but that, I used to have this thing when I haven't done sales training for years, probably about 6-7 years. I used to do a lot. And, I used to say, we're individuals who want to be treated individually.
Yes, absolutely. And this is where actually having a framework rather than a script is really important. The framework helps you guide a conversation, because you can have a really good conversation, but it doesn't really lead anywhere, or you can guide a conversation that actually goes somewhere because it's a conversation with some purpose. But that guidance comes from having a framework of, have I covered these things? Have I found out enough to know to be asking the right questions so that they can make up their mind?
Yeah.
Because it's not about persuasion. It's about giving them all of the information that they need to make up their mind. And that can be done certainly with social posts and stuff. One of the things that I find really important is clearly everybody knows the know, like, and trust factor. But actually, you don't even have to like somebody to buy, to know them and to trust them and to buy from them. Because it's not really about the likability in some circumstances. It's about, do I trust them to provide the service that they say that they can do?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. In fact, if we were in my office, because I'm in I always sit in my dining room for our lives, and if we were in my office, I would play. Somebody rang our landline the other day. I mean, how many people even still have a landline? And he left a voicemail that was so abysmal, because back in the day, I used to do telemarketing, so I know what good looks like.
Yeah, no, I was the 100 dials a day girl. So
And this guy said, I take it you're the homeowner. I'd really like to speak to you about saving money. What? And I actually left it. I didn't delete it because my husband works in, we don't call it sales in our house. We call it business development. And I think that sounds a bit less icky, but my husband works in business development, but in a very high level, in that he works with national buyers for large businesses within the rail sector. But the same thing applies.
Always.
It's all about building that relationship. And you're absolutely, that's a real thing of truth, Becky, is that you don't have to necessarily like them. It's like the guy who did my website 3 years ago. I didn't particularly like him, but I trusted him that he could do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew enough about him to trust him that he would do a good job. Yes.
Yeah. So it wasn't a difficult sales pitch. So for the ladies and gentlemen that are watching on catch up, this has been such an interesting chat. I feel like we could chat about this, one of my favorite subjects, all day long. But you're hosting a masterclass next week. So tell us a little bit about that.
I am, yes. I'm hosting a masterclass all about natural sales voice and how that fits in with a full sales process rather than just thinking of sales as being one moment in time. And that's on Tuesday, the 26th, so the day after the bank holiday. And I'm just 2 o'clock. I just couldn't quite remember the time then, but it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah. So for anyone, I've done a couple of masterclasses recently. If anyone hasn't managed to get along to those, then please come along live.
Yeah, I think it would be great. I mean, I would personally be there, but I will be on a ship in Norway somewhere, sailing down. I know Sunday we're at sea. So my son has his birthday at sea, which is quite cool.
Nice.
And Monday we're in Bergen. So
okay.
And then Tuesday, I can't remember where we are, but we're doing I think it's 4 ports in 4 days. So I won't be there, but I would absolutely recommend this to everybody. I've put the link into the comments. And of course, reach out to Becky privately if you've got any questions. Becky, thank you so much for your time today. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.